Hi everyone, so today we're taking a look at Bad Company 2 again, and I realised that I still have a load of footage from Bad Company 2. The reason also I wanted to take a look back was because some of the games we've played recently have been, I have to say, really poor on Battlefield 3, really poor squad organisation and so on and so on, and I was just interested to see and look back at the differences between, you know, perhaps Bad Company 2, because people always remember Bad Company 2 and go, oh, it was so much better, it was different back then. So I was interested, what an unlucky little cap there right at the beginning. But I was interested to see whether it was actually better team play back then. So I will tell you, I have looked through quite a few rounds, just kind of an overview, just kind of scrolled through, seeing whether the team play seemed better. You obviously will have bad games. You always have bad games, you always have good games, depending on how the team stacks up. What I'm trying to look for is kind of more general differences, things like, okay, are they aware of us when we're moving around them? Are they moving to positions? Are they better spread out around the map, and so on and so on? I also have to say, when I'm normally attacking, I do often go with something that isn't this, I think it's the PP2000, this gun. I would often go with assault rifles and so on and so on, but I think when I played this, which would have been a really long time ago, I was going with this just because it was quite a nice all-around piece of kit, and I think I was trying out some different weapons at the time. Normally I would go with like the G3, that was my primary weapon for Bad Company 2. Anyway, so I was trying to flank all the way around them there, because a frontal assault on this base, they pretty much spawn on this base here, so often coming around the back was a good thing to do, and since we lost the helicopter, you know, they probably would have known we were coming in the front, so that's why I was trying to flank around. Didn't work out there, but I'm taking extra armour because I got caught by that unlucky hit there. Now, you can, usually when you're running with a Black Hawk and Bad Company 2, you could go with like armour or extra smoke. Not extra smoke, countermeasures rather, and because when tracer darts were onto you, you need the countermeasures to sort of counter that basically. But taking the extra armour was a good hit as well, because if you had a repair guy with you or whatever, you could take a hit and still get out of there. There we go, you see, and it just proves it right there, because a lot of the time when I'm running in on the ground with Black Hawks and stuff, I tend to do a lot of low drops, so I'll come in low on the ground, drop my guys, and then pull back out, which is exactly what I did right here. So it proves that, you know, just changing out that class there saved me. Now, the thing is, attacking is always different. I think attacking is always a little bit easier in some ways, but not always. I do have a defense round coming up straight after this, which I also found. I have to say that from what I've seen so far, it does really seem that Bad Company 2 had better team play. For PS3 anyway, I can't speak for other things. God, unlucky sniper there. He must have been on the island. I used to do that as well. Just by the base here, just below it, there's a little island you can see on the map. Just on the left hand side, there's a little island out there. And you can get there as a sniper. If you're a sniper, you're a good sniper, you can sit out on that island and snipe pilots and stuff like that as they enter. I think on one of my montages I actually have that. I did the same thing, so yeah, that was one to always watch out for. It didn't happen to me quite often, to be honest. It was an unusual thing, because you had to be quite a good sniper to be able to actually hit people through the heli at that range. So yeah, it was good to get that one in here, because I don't remember that happening very often. Okay, so we've only got one base left. This first base was generally pretty difficult, because, as I say, they spawn actually on the island, so assaulting it was very, very difficult. And you know, they can sit up by this boat here and on the top of the rocks, and the A is the A objective is very, very open. I would often say as well to go for A first. Often when we were going in on it, that's the one we would go for first. I'm not going straight for the objective because I wanted to just check it was clear. I don't know. I haven't watched this back, so I've got no idea how well I do in this round. There we go, you see, that was taking fire from the guys all around here. The other thing that's good about this being open is that, you see right there, I was pretty sure there's a Black Hawk helicopter kill on that guy. So as soon as the objective is armed, people can just be laying fire down. Oh Christ, we're locked up and everything. I'm just trying to spawn back in, trying to stop them defusing, obviously. Clear the area, clear the area. And we're not doing too bad right now. Come on, surely we get this. Yeah, there we go. So far, you know, I would say the defenders and the attackers seem to have been doing a fairly good job. I mean, the defense guys, from what I've seen, okay, they didn't manage to keep control of this first base, but this first base can be quite tricky to keep control of, because those Black Hawks have heavy firepower, and you often have the problem of snipers up on the hill as well. so it can be really difficult to kind of keep things under control. I would like to say as well, notice the amount, the difference in the recoil from Bad Company 2. It really shows that they tailored it to a different market. Battlefield 3, the way the guns handle is so significantly different. And I really do think that the recoil... Where the hell am I going? Oh, I know what I must be doing. I must be asking for a pickup. Yeah. Obviously I don't have my comms or anything, and it's been so long ago I can't remember what I was doing. I was like, where am I going? I must have been talking to my guy saying, come give me a pickup, so that's what I'm doing. Love this gameplay, seriously, love the Black Hawk. I really wish they'd put it in. I mean, I know we have the Venom and everything, but it's just not the same. So yeah, we're doing quite well. Now this next base was always a difficult one because, again, they spawned right on the objective, and the B base, I should have jumped out a little bit later here because you want to be... there. You really want to try and jump out right on that B objective and take it out. The A objective on this one, you can just destroy the building, so you don't even need to. People always used to whinge that destroying buildings to destroy the MCOMs was a cheap thing to do. I never really thought that. I just considered it part of the game. It's like part of the dynamic of the game that you knew some certain MCOMs. It wasn't on every base too. I mean, the first and last bases on this map, you can't destroy buildings to destroy the MCOMs. It's only one in this, and it's often like that with several, of the objectives. Arica Harbour, on the first base, you can destroy one but not the other. On the second, you can destroy one again but not the other. And the third, you couldn't destroy, I believe. Yeah, the fourth as well, you couldn't destroy on that. So... and the last one you couldn't destroy an Arica as well. So out of most of the bases, it was usually only one or two on each map or something that could be destroyed by buildings. It wasn't the majority. And I really think it was just, part of the game. So I don't know, people always hate those kind of things because they consider it kind of cheap. I guess it is in many ways, you're not doing it the right way, you're not arming the objective. It's no different than people just going for the kills in Search and Destroy or something like that instead of arming the objective there. I think when people are playing objective game modes, they like people to play it like it should be played, and anything else they consider is like a cheap move, but to be honest, it's just part of the game. So you can see what we did here was the right thing to do. My squad, my guys, all of them you can see over there on B. Now the blue team members, look, we've got one guy back on the island here, another couple on the road, there's a boat over here on my left hand side for some reason, so they're really not giving us a huge amount of support. Having a tight squad or something when you're attacking really does make a difference. But I mean, look at the blue, there's nobody even in that base other than my team, so it just shows that we're having quite a big impact on the game as an attacking force. But yeah, when it comes to the defenders, again, they've been doing a relatively good job, not appalling. I mean, you're going to win or lose a round, but I think you need to look at the kind of overall trend of what they're doing in the game. Like, are they all on one side of the map? Are they trying to take down our vehicles? And I think you'd see from the very beginning, they were really focused on taking down the Black Hawks. We do get a tank on this base as well, but I don't think anyone's picked that up, actually, strangely. But you can destroy this base just with the Black Hawk, because the miniguns will just tear through the walls, and that's what we're doing right now. It's just... I was trying to... It's like screwing around here, by the way. He was in my cloud as well. And, yeah, he was deliberately doing that to try and make it difficult for me to fly, I'm sure. Something else I noticed is the pace. I'm just quite happily flying around here, just sort of holding pattern. I used to do this often because you don't want to get in too close because they can start tracer darting you. This was something people... That's the reason I'm staying. I'm not too worried about missiles because you can often avoid the missiles very easily. You see them coming and you can just dodge left or right. If you've got the ATs coming at you or the Carl Gustav either, you can avoid that with the Black Hawk usually pretty easy. It's more the tracer darts, and if you get close and you get tracer darted, and I think I'm probably still running with armor, so I'm really, concerned about that. There we go. Actually, I'll tell you what, that wasn't me getting hit. That would have been one of the guys firing a missile from the Black Hawk. It was a really weird thing that when people fired missiles from the Black Hawk, it made like this kind of big explosion and rocked you. It was curious, really curious. I think I was going to go for a pickup there, and then he probably didn't want it because I think the tank is there, so that's probably what was going on right there. So I'm probably going to go in for low drop, I would imagine, because that's generally what I do on these bases. Yes, there we go. So drop the guys off, carry on. Taking fire from the ground, but generally just holding position. The Black Hawks were particularly useful for doing this kind of stuff. The guns were hard to use. I mean, they were a lot better than the miniguns on Battlefield 3, but they were still quite tricky. And you can see they're so good for this kind of stuff. Oh no, I just remember what happened here. I was scanning through this last night. It's so irritating that this is in this round because I often it was yeah, pretty decent as a Black Hawk pilot, but unfortunately right there just dropped it too low, and as soon as you touch it into that water, yeah, you can see Islik's kind of annoyed with me. He didn't have team chat with Bad Company 2. That's the other thing. That's probably why he was shooting at me, to tell me you screwed up, because you had your squad chat obviously, but you didn't have team chat. So there was, unless you were talking to your squad, there's no way. The only thing you could do, I think, was all leave your squads. That was the thing. If you wanted to speak to everyone on your team in Bad Company 2, you'd all leave your squads. Then you could speak to everyone else. This last base was very, very difficult on this one because you'll notice that we have quite a long way to go. I'm trying to trace a dart here. See, the tracer darts, these were the big problem, and basically what they do is allow you to lock on with Carl Gustavs, which makes very, very short work of the helicopters. Kind of in the same way the SOFLAM and a Javelin would do. There we are. So I got a tracer dart plant, and then immediately, look, I can take my missile, it's locked on, so we fire, and there we go, down goes the heli. It's a really good combination. But if they have the countermeasures of smoke, as soon as you get tracer darted, you can pop that smoke and it'll just remove it instantly. Again, in the same way that the ECM would for locks with the SOFLAM or CITV station, exactly the same. But the good thing about the tracer darts was that, I don't know, you could kind of, you know, I don't know what I like about that compared to the CITV and all those kind of things. In many ways, it was much more difficult because the CITV and the SOFLAM, you can just aim it at the target and it locks on, but you have to keep it aimed. The tracer dart was kind of good because you fire and forget, so long as you actually tracer it, it just stays on the target until they remove it. And that's really good because if you're moving around and it goes out of line of sight, I mean, when you think on Battlefield 3, if you're going behind line of sight of things, you can obviously remove those locks, but with the tracer dart it doesn't, it just stays on there so people can get onto it wherever it is, provided, but it will drop off after a certain amount of time. Anyway, so moving into the base now, let's look at what the defenders are doing, okay? So they got like 2-3 guys pushed up here, and that's a good thing to do, but they haven't controlled this right hand side where we're going in on A, and Traeger's just moved straight in. Also, notice how they haven't got any mines down, they haven't got any C4 down or anything like that, and it means that Traeger can just sort of sit here. He's just taking out the missile towers, he's firing in on the base, and I'm just sitting here acting kind of as a spawn point, and we're just laying a bit of fire into them. My other teammates are going towards A. Looks like a couple of them got taken down there, and I'm helping Traeger out by repairing. And the tank is a good one here because you can just sort of sit in front, take some punishment, and fire in on everyone. But we are taking a lot of focus fire here, you can see. And you see, that's good. That's really, really good, because it shows that they're using, basically, their team have identified that the tank is a problem. They've put AT rockets and the Carl Gustav onto it. So they put multiple rockets at the same time, really focus fired it down. And the tank didn't stay there for very long. It was there for like 20, 30 seconds maybe, something like that. I don't know, maybe not even that long. So they really identified the problem and took it out immediately. Unfortunately, they didn't react quite quickly enough, and it means that whilst they've been distracted by that, we've pushed up on the right hand side here, and you can see our guys are laying fire in on A. Now we really should push up a little bit here, because at the moment we're kind of behind the objective. We should move forward to try and take the fight over to them. We could have flanked round onto the right hand side. So we're just kind of in a steady position here. You can see on the map we have about 4 guys here. I think they want some medic packs, which I'm just dropping down. Yep, I can see that. So now we've got to move towards B. Look at the kind of steady nature in which we're advancing, okay? It's all quite controlled, it's not chaotic. And the defenders, again, they're sitting behind the objective. They're not doing a particularly good job here because they really want to be moving forward a little bit. If they sit back like this, and this is what often happens with Battlefield 3, people sit back behind the objective, what's eventually going to happen is they will continue to suppress you and push forward more and more, slowly take you out, wear you down. The attackers will perhaps come in and flank you, and so on and so on. So it's really, really important that you, as defenders, push forward, really get in. Look, you see they're all using this concrete wall up here, which is not going to be, you know, useful. You see me and Klusky moving up here. There's a guy on the left here. Now, you know, 1 or 2 of us may get taken down here, but we managed to get the arm. And that's because they're sitting behind. If you're sitting behind the objective, you can't successfully defend. And they really should have made an effort there to move forward. And now that it's armed as well, it means that the attacker's role has completely changed. They're not going to be particularly interested in other people now. All they have to do is focus on shooting people off of that objective. So that's been this round, guys. I think it gives like a nice little look back. I have got a defense round coming up, so that one will be coming up very soon, and we'll look again at the overall change. I think it does show that, you know, things have changed with Battlefield 3, and maybe not for the better, sadly. More stuff coming up very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.